Greetings, Earthlings. How the frig are y'all doing today? It's been a year or two since I made this here rocket stove, and I think I'm gonna fire it up today, just for old time's sake, and show the condition of it. And yeah, I'm gonna run it on pellets today. I've built several pellet burners for this thing, so I think I'm gonna use this one right here today. That's the first pellet burner I ever made, and the first rocket stove I ever made. So it's gonna be a throwback old school video. There's some small bits in here that are loose, but the big mass itself is still intact. There's some crumbly bits on top. This thing's been outside in the weather, and it's been neglected. It's been in the summer, it's been in the winter, it's been hot, it's been cold, but it's still solid. It's not very pretty, but she's functional. So I got a lid here, and I'm gonna put a lid on it. I might clean out, there's a tiny bit of ash in there, I might clean her out, and then fire it up. It's got a nice shiny exhaust on here. Somebody was asking about one of the older videos if the mass, or if the refractory cement inside, if it goes up to the exhaust. This is the exhaust outlet here, and it's not that high, but it's barely an inch there. So an inch below this exhaust, I had a line drawn, but I guess it's a little higher than that. Somewhere between this is the feed tube and the burn chamber, and the burn chamber is completely buried in this refractory cement. So anyway, it's got a single length of pipe on it. I think it's a 3-foot exhaust pipe. It's got a stainless steel sleeve inside, and that's about it. Okay, so I put the lid on it, and I've cleaned out the ash. There's a tiny bit of ash there. There wasn't very much. So now I'm gonna fill it up with pellets. I've got the lid on it. Lid's on. And this is the pellet burner here. And that's the way it's gonna go, just like that. And I'll drop it all the way down in there, and I'll get some pellets. Elite hardwood pellets. Northern hardwood. Extraordinary premium hardwood pellets. Man, extraordinary, just like me. So these are the pellets I'm using today. I got a 20-ounce coffee cup, and I'm gonna use it, and I'll let you know how many. That's 1 cup. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is, 6. Now, it seems to me that this will hold more. There's the pellets right there. So, I'm pretty sure it'll hold 7 or 8 cups. Oh, listen to her. Well, she's warming up and it's running on its own right now. Takes a minute to get them going with the torch, or to get this thing going with the torch. It's a little bit smoky right now until it warms up. Yeah, it'll be a lot more powerful when it warms up. Oh, it just dropped. They drop as they burn, gravity. So there's no, most pellet stoves have augers and fans. There's no auger to feed the pellets. There's no fan to blow the air. It's all natural. There's a heavy draw because of the heat riser and the fact that it's wide open. So those coals, they glow bright red, and there's quite a draw on them. You can hear it. Oh, sounds like the thing's starting to warm up. Oh yeah, she's starting to warm up now, baby. Now there's no smoke at all now. I wonder if I could find the temperature gun. I think I've misplaced the temperature gun, or haven't used it in a year or two. Oh. Well, there's some sort of steam coming off the side here. It's sealed up pretty good, but the hot and cold, I'm guessing it will. Oh yeah, it's wet there a little bit. Hot and cold and condensation and all that. Sounds like she's really rocking now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This thing always amazed me because it would run on so little fuel, and it would give really good heat for hours. And then when the mass heats up, there's refractory cement all the way up to here. So when that heats up, it holds the heat for a long time, the internal mass. And it's really compact. The footprint, or the floor space that it takes up is only, I can't remember, 15 or 16 inches diameter, so it doesn't take up very much space at all. And it's very stable because the base wheel is a little bit bigger, and there's concrete like from here down, so there's a lot of it's got a lot of stability with all that weight down low. And it was sitting outside in the snow. It had no lid on it. I put a lid on it here now, but it had no lid on it. It was sitting out in the snow for 2 years, probably neglected. It's full of, the cement is probably wet. And the fact that it was really cold, the mass, and I'm hitting it with really hot heat, there's going to be condensation somewhere in between. So it's going to take a minute for that to dry out, warm up and dry out. But the exhaust itself is really clean. The fire is burning really clean. Yeah, almost all the smoke is gone, and any smoke that is there burns in the riser. You can't even see it because it's all internal, the secondary combustion. There's the exhaust pipe right there, and you can see all the smoke coming out of the exhaust. No, I'm just joking, you can't, because there is none. You can see the steam coming off of this down low though, but there's like nothing coming out of the exhaust. It's beautiful. It's friggin' awesome. Actually, it's not even that hot. It's just like moist. Yeah, it's like moist. Moist and clean. Like, it smells so clean. It doesn't smell like a burnt wood stove. It's amazing. So it looks like the sides are almost dry now, but the top, there's some wet on top there. Sides look pretty dry though. But then again, there's like a steam, it's like a gusher. It's just shooting out of there. That's because of the cement. The refractory cement is external. It's outside of the J tube. So this J tube is all sealed up and welded, and the refractory cement is outside of that. And then it's welded around here, and then the cement is all like basically sealed, all that as well on the inside. But there's the odd spot where the moisture will sit into this, either the cement or the wheel, and the moisture's coming out right now. I'm sure that won't last long with the heat we got right now. The pellets are barely moving at all, which is good. Looks like the coals are all the way up into the top now. Oh, there they go, they're dropping automatically. I built this myself, but the L tube or the J tube, so the main components are the feed tube and the horizontal burn chamber and the vertical riser. That's the main core. So the core itself was welded by somebody better than me, because I'm not a great welder. I was just learning to weld 2 years ago when I built this. Wow, she's really chooching. Looks like most of the steam is gone from over here, but it's still steaming over here pretty good. It's my own fault for leaving it outside in the weather. I had the lid off it too, so a lot of weather got down in there. Like, the cement is down in there, and a lot of weather got down in there, unfortunately. So, like I said before, this is the first rocket stove I ever built, and the first pellet burner that I built. I think this is one of my first YouTube videos too, this thing. This machine. This beast. So, looking at the exhaust once again, it's warming up a little bit. It smells really clean. I'm getting a lot of steam like from on this side of the pipe, but the exhaust itself is clean as a whip. It even smells good. Like, it doesn't smell like a burnt wood stove or anything at all. It's like a dryer vent. It kind of smells good, and it's just a little bit of moisture. It's like heat, but it's moist heat. Huh. It's really, really interesting, and it's really, really clean burning. But then you see all this terrible, terrible steam coming out of this side. That's not smoke, that's just steam. And it's really steaming too. Pretty darn good. Hot enough to melt your popsicle. Oh my goodness. Here's something interesting. I put some neodymium magnets on here. I was doing something, and they're weak now. They're weak. They used to be really strong neodymium high power magnets, but the heat, something to do with the heat. I noticed ceramic magnets will do the same as well. When you heat them up, they get weak. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So if you ever put a neodymium magnet on a rocket stove, it'll probably eventually fall off. When I burn wood, you can burn wood in here. You drop wood down in here and close the front with a door, a magnetic door. And that's what I tried to do first. I put a magnet on there just to hold that, because I like it to be open when I'm burning pellets. Oh my goodness, look at all that steam. I assure you that it's not smoking back, and it's not smoke at all coming out the front. It's just steam coming out of down there. You can actually see the moisture in there too. The most hilarious part about this is it's ice cold. This mass where the concrete is ice cold. It's like freezing my fingers, like literally freezing my fingers. So this thing's been sitting outside, and the mass, I don't know, I can't remember how much mass is in it, like 200 pounds. I think there's 200 pounds of steel and 200 pounds of cement, or 250 of each, or 200 of each. I can't remember. This stove weighs like 300 pounds or 400 pounds, I'm not sure. But anyway, there's such a great deal of mass inside of it. I can put my hand right beside, this is the burn chamber, which is probably really hot. So I can put my hand right here, and it's ice cold. Because the mass is still cold. And that's why the steam is coming off it, because the mass is still cold and wet. So it's like a cold start. But you can see, it looks like it's almost done steaming, I think. It's still burning though, still burning real good. Oh my goodness. What the frig's going on out here, buddy? Are you suntanning? Are you tail waggers? I see tail waggers. What about a smile? You got a smile? Smile! Good boy. Good boy, that's a nice smile you got there. Oh my goodness. Freaking right. Well, I had to go and run an errand, but I came back and most of the steam was gone. So I think she's done steaming now. I don't see any steam here at all, but there's still a little bit of wet. I see some wet spots in the wheels, and the lower half of the mass is not as warm. So it's starting to warm up here now, the mass up top, but down low it's still a little bit cooler. Anyway, she's running. I topped her up again with pellets, and it's doing a good job dropping. The coals are dropping and the ashes are being sucked up into the riser, so everything's working really good. This is my favorite pellet burner, even though it's just a bent up piece of steel. This is one I made myself, and well, designed myself, and it works the best out of the pellet burners. This one does not clog up with ashes, and the other one does. But the other one was designed by somebody else, so the other one would probably need an ash drop or an ash tray, but this one works good, because when the coals drop and they burn up into fly ash, they just sucks the fly ash right up. Most of it gets sucked in there, so it works good. You can see them dropping and burning. Nothing's getting clogged up. It's working good, moving as it should. And there's no forced induction, no blower motors or fans, no augers to feed the pellets, no power required. So simple and so clean. The exhaust is still really clean, and I anticipate it to only get cleaner as the stove heats up. It can only get cleaner. BTUs high, ash low. That's a good thing. Friggin' rates. Made in Canada, eh? Well, normally I would do temperature readings and record the amount of pellets and the amount of time it burns, the amount of time the heat radiates from the mass after the burn, above room temperature. But everything's all frigged up today. I lost track of the time when I first put the pellets in. I topped up the pellets and lost track of the amount I put in. I lost track of the temperature laser. So yeah, we're just burning. I guess we're just doing this for fun, because all the normal R&D that I keep track of for research and development, I'm not keeping track of any of it today, apparently. But it's good just to fire this old girl up, because I haven't done so in, this one hasn't run in probably, I'm going to say this one hasn't run in 2 years. It's been at least a year anyway. And yeah, I tell you, she ain't pretty, but the old girl works good. Puts out heat, burns super clean and efficient. No hydro required. The fire burns like super hot. Like I don't even know. I'm gonna guess it's over 1,000 degrees in there. And on the exhaust pipe, I've measured the exhaust pipe before, and it only puts out 200 degrees. So you got over 1,000 degrees in there, and only 200 coming out the exhaust. So that's like 80% efficiency, or I don't know. I'm extracting at least 80% of the heat is staying in the stove and in the mass, and 20% or less goes up the chimney, I guess. I'm not exactly sure, but since I lost track of the laser, the temperature gun, I can't make any definite readings today. But the thing is still heating up, and that mass takes hours to heat up. You can almost see the rate of the pellets dropping, because the pellets were right up to the top there a minute ago. Well, I shouldn't say a minute ago, because I've been talking for 3 minutes. Look at that, it just drops and sucks them in. Perfect. Freaking perfect. I should have painted this thing with high temperature paint. I did paint one of them, but not this one. I should have painted this one. This is definitely one of my favorites, and it's the first one that got me interested. First one I built after getting interested into the whole super efficient rocket stoves. Oh, what a lovely life, a dog's life. Feed me, human. Feed me and pet me. So now it's got 2 sections of exhaust pipe and a total of 5 feet vertical, which, to be honest, is not much when it comes to a chimney stack or exhaust. So it's only got 5 feet vertical exhaust, and now it's pulling even harder, stronger, faster. Yeah, it's pulling better with two chunks of exhaust, or two sections of exhaust, more vertical exhaust. Heat rises, so the more vertical straight pipes you have, the stronger your pull will be. That's why there's a heat riser in the middle for a vertical pull. And I believe the flames are actually reaching the riser now. I'm not sure if they were before or not, but they're definitely climbing up the riser now. And you can see it's pulling the ashes in, or it's pulling the coals in faster. So I should have done that. I should have had more than one. I think the original exhaust piece I had on there was only 3 feet long, and now there's a chunk of 2-foot double wall pipe before that, so a total of 5 feet now. The exhaust is still super clean, but it's like twice as tall now. It's a lot taller. Still burning really super clean. I think I've put a total of 20 cups, 20 ounce cups. So say 20 ounces times 20. And it's been burning for 3 or 4 hours. I think it's about 3.5 hours it's been burning, and it's still got 3/4 of a magazine. I don't know, I call it a magazine, but still got 3/4 of the fuel in there. But I keep topping it up, so I put in 6, and then I put in 12, and then I put in 18, or I put in 2 the second time, so I guess it would have been 14 the second time, because I filled it right to the top. Anyway, I can't do any temperature readings today because I can't find the temperature gun. Man, just listen to it. Well, this thing's all burned out, all 20 ounces, or 20 ounce cups. That's a lot of 20 ounce cups. I think it's around 4:30, and I think I started it around 10:30. So she's been going for a good part of the day, and she's down to coals now, and she's done her duty, and the mass is nice and hot now. Yeah, the mass is nice and hot, and that'll probably stay hot for several hours. I'm guessing that mass will stay hot for another 4 hours. Who knows? Anyway, that's gonna be it for that.